where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights, and demand accountability. This episode is brought to us by DJ Media. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor DJ visits the historic Hampton Court Palace to document the site using his drone, all done with full transparency. He even informs staff about what he's doing, but despite his openness, they call the police. When officers arrive, one of them displays one of the most egotistical and confrontational attitudes I've seen toward an auditor. The situation could have escalated dramatically, and if it weren't for his more level-headed partner stepping in, it almost certainly would have.
Inside the palace, has it?
The drone is in my car.
Okay. He's flown the pad from here, he's flown it along the drive and above. I don't know whether he's landed it inside.
No, I didn't land this. I just flew over the palace to do a bit of
and
nosying.
And still filming? You're a YouTuber?
GoPro, yes.
You're a YouTuber.
Are you a viewer?
What's your YouTube name?
You're a copper, so...
I am, yeah.
I'm just going to give you information without a reason.
Recording, is it?
Not the video, no.
No?
It will. Does it need to be, or?
No, it doesn't. So, well, what
basically,
did they do with you then?
I've flown over there. I've had a lot of hassle off the not these guys, but the other team.
You've been told not to fly it here?
I've been told not allowed.
Yeah. And
I told them I'm allowed.
No, you're not.
So I did it.
No, you're not.
Over this because of the helicopters.
As the officers arrive at Hampton Court Palace, the tone is immediately set by one of them, who chooses to mock the auditor, mimicking his words instead of engaging in any sort of professional dialogue. This isn't just unprofessional. It's dismissive and confrontational. From the start, the officer makes it clear he has no interest in understanding what the auditor is doing or why. The officer then incorrectly tells the auditor that he's not allowed to fly the drone over the palace, and his partner backs him up, vaguely citing helicopters as the reason. But that reasoning simply doesn't hold up. Hampton Court Palace is not located in a designated restricted or no-fly airspace, unless a specific temporary restriction is in place. And there's no indication of one at the time of this video.
It's not a no-fly zone here.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes.
Can you show me?
You got to look it up. It is on there. Go ahead and look it up.
I did all my due diligence before I got here.
Palaces, royals, and if the staff says no, it's
not about the staff saying no. It's about the law, my friend. Come on.
It is. If they're saying.
So there's the no-fly zones like airport there, but we're there. It's nothing.
But it's if you looked it up, Hampton Court Palace, no-fly zone. All right. So this is what we're gonna do.
I've checked.
Okay. Well, you can say that if you've checked or not.
There's no no-fly zone here, my
but
friend.
We're saying that it's not, and you know we've looked it up as well.
This isn't about airspace anymore. It's about ego. The officer has been presented with accurate, up-to-date information that directly contradicts his claim, yet he refuses to acknowledge it. That kind of response isn't rooted in law or safety. It's rooted in pride. Rather than admit a mistake or even consider the possibility that he might be wrong, the officer clings to his authority, hoping that saying, "We've checked," will be enough to shut down the conversation. But that's exactly the problem. In situations like this, when officers are proven wrong by clear public information, the refusal to acknowledge it damages more than just the interaction. It damages public trust. Lawful drone use is regulated by the CAA, not by how confident an officer sounds when making a claim.
So I don't look. It's a busy Friday night. All right, busy Friday night. We need to be out there. We're already stripped to a few units. Okay.
Right.
If we can just get your name, we'll treat this as words of advice. Just please don't do it again. The staff are here and all the other staff.
You should be educating them, saying he's allowed to fly over.
No. It's not allowed.
Them after.
We'll speak to them.
We just have to deal with you first.
But we are just dealing with you. I don't want this to go long.
You've told me it's a no-fly zone.
I don't want this to go on any longer. If we could just have your name.
But this is going to keep happening. If people come here to fly drones and these guys, not you, but if the team come out and say, can't do it.
We've already had the info done from our...
Can you tell me what legislation so I can check? Because I want to learn here.
No, we've told you that is your learning. You're not allowed to...
That's not good enough, my friend.
Yes it is. Because we're a police officer.
You're an officer.
We're telling you. Yeah.
That's not good enough.
All right.
When the auditor calmly asks for the legal basis behind the officer's claims, he's not being argumentative. He's doing exactly what any informed citizen should do, seeking clarity and understanding. But instead of providing any legislation or reference to airspace restrictions, the officer shuts the conversation down entirely, relying on his status as a police officer, as if that alone justifies his stance. This isn't how lawful authority is supposed to work. In the UK, police powers must be exercised in accordance with the law. And when questioned, officers should be able and willing to explain the legal foundation of their actions. Dismissing a request for clarity and expecting compliance simply because we've told you reflects a mindset rooted in self-importance, not public service.
I need to know the legislation.
Yeah.
I need to know the legislation that I've broken here, so I don't do it again.
See, it's completely up to you if you want to give us your details or not. Okay.
It's not about details, mate. Your colleague here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason I hang around for police to arrive, and I didn't hang around, I was getting some food and I saw you and I thought I'd pop over, is so that I can see or know that the people who have restricted my legal activity today, the drone flying, get educated and say, look, he's allowed to fly. He may not like it, but he can do it, right?
Hampton Court Palace have said that is supposedly a no-fly zone. So obviously we've come with like the information that we've been told. I've read through and it says no-fly zones, obviously 5 kilometres from airports. This isn't an airport, but the grey area that we're trying to deal with is where they're saying it's a helicopter thing as well. So that's where we're a bit...
Usually helicopter pads are not a no-fly zone, but they're on here to tell us to obviously watch out for aerial traffic.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I haven't seen anything on, I'll show you what I look at. I haven't seen anything on the app at all.
Okay.
It does turn yellow in a minute, there we go.
Yeah.
All that side there is, you'll see, Bushy Park.
Yeah.
The auditor is absolutely right. In the UK, drone operators are required to check for airspace restrictions through live CA-compliant platforms, such as Drone Assist. These apps often show helicopter activity markers or advisory zones where low-flying manned aircraft are common, but these are for situational awareness, not legal restrictions. The purpose is to alert drone pilots to be extra cautious, not to prohibit flight outright. Unless the area is within a flight restriction zone, such as near an airport, military installation, or other protected site, or a temporary NOTAM has been issued, drone flights remain lawful if operated safely and within visual line of sight. The presence of helicopters alone does not make it illegal to fly, and the auditor, seeing no restrictions in his up-to-date app, is entirely within his rights to fly.
Area of scientific interest, SSI.
Right, okay.
But I'm not in that. We're at the Palace, which is actually right bang in the middle.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, 100%.
There's nothing on there to say I can't fly, which is why I did it.
I think what they are just worried about is if there is suddenly a helicopter that needs to come, which, I mean, I know it seems like a bit far-fetched.
Right.
Okay, but just in case.
They didn't mention that when we had a talk.
No, of course, no, I understand.
They just mentioned everything else.
Yeah.
A wedding going on, other concerns.
So yeah, there is something about the privacy side of things as well, because if there's a wedding as well, maybe they don't want it.
I said to them, I'm going to stay very high to the people with the tiny dots. I've got no issue with what you've said to me, but your colleague saying it's a no-fly zone, it's not good.
Yeah,
because now they're going to be under the impression that they can restrict people flying.
Yeah, like I said, I'll speak to them after, obviously. I'll speak to them, I'll say what you've said to them.
Oh, she's back out. Hello.
Have you got it in? Sorry, do you mind just going over there, please?
I can do, yeah. I'm going to go, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, well, that's why we're trying to speak to them, and we'll speak to you. If you can just stand by my colleague, please.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. I haven't got all night, mate. Can we do it quickly, or?
I'm trying to get it done as quickly as possible. If you keep interrupting us, then obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. Give me 2 minutes, and then I'll be.
Can I just go?
We'll just have to explain 1 or 2 things, and then you can go. All right, because it's busy for us as well.
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
I've been here a while. I spoke to you for an hour, didn't I?
It shouldn't be an emergency response, but if
what, you came on emergency?
Well, no, we're an emergency response team. All right.
Got it. Okay.
So basically, what they've said is, you know that you see those blocks right there to the left, just in front of the palace, that whole block there where the bushes.
This building.
Yeah, not the first bit here, but the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all like residential.
Okay.
Whereabouts were you flying it from?
I've flown everything, mate, but I'll be honest with you, this long building here, it's probably the one part I haven't really flown near.
Okay, that's fine. It's just because you have to be 110 metres away from residential buildings as well.
No.
Yeah.
The officer tells the auditor that he's not allowed to fly within 120 m of residential areas. Not only is this legally incorrect, it's also factually misstated, as the old distance rule was actually 150 m. Even then, that 150 m rule only applied under previous drone legislation and to larger drones operating in higher risk categories, such as the A2 or A3 subcategories under the CAA's drone classification. But the auditor is flying a DJI Mini, which weighs under 250 grams and falls into the A1 subcategory of the open category, a classification that allows flight close to people in near residential, commercial, or recreational areas.
120 metres from residential areas.
Why does it say that? I'm not trying to catch you out. I know my legislation on it because I fly it, and I've never heard of that.
Drone and model aircraft code, points 3 to 9.
Yeah.
Fly below. And then there was fly below 120, which you said you were doing perfectly fine. No problem. And then there's a residential, commercial, 150 metres, sorry.
Okay.
Keep at least 150 metres away from...
My drone is small, so my drone is that.
Okay,
so go by that.
Okay, what drone do you have? Sorry?
It's 249 gram, it's under 250.
Okay, perfect, yeah, no problem. That's fine.
Is that been made clear?
His drone is under 250 grams, which that doesn't apply to.
Good.
So...
You saw the drone, right? It was a baby.
It's the weight, and the weight only. So if it's below, hang on. If the weight is 150, if the weight is 150, then it's above. Then all the license, blah blah blah, and all that. If it's less than, however, that supersedes if it has a camera. All right.
When the original officer re-enters a conversation, his dismissive attitude returns, and along with it, more misinformation. This time, he tries to reference legislation around drone use, but completely undermines himself by wrongly stating the weight threshold as 150 grams. That's not just a slip. It's a fundamental error that instantly damages the credibility of everything else he's asserting. In the UK, drone regulations are structured heavily around weight. The correct threshold for many key rules, including which category a drone falls under, is 250G, not 150. Getting the threshold wrong shows the officer doesn't understand the very basics of the law he's trying to enforce.
Anyway,
it doesn't.
I'm not. I don't. I've got.
Come on, man. I do this every day.
I've got better staff.
You shouldn't have been called. I know they called you for a good reason.
To do. Just please.
With a good intention.
Don't do it.
But it's not a police matter, my friend.
Just go. It's not. I know it isn't.
If you're telling me not to do it, I'm allowed to do it. I am going to continue doing it. Don't tell me not to do it, man.
Okay, well, we'll be here then again.
You're wasting your time.
I am wasting my time. All right, thank you very much for
Why
your time,
are you being stubborn? This officer's been great. What a rude... what's his number? 4198. There's no need for that, mate. No need.
You're making it worse. And
no, but you should be telling them. You should be telling them that we can't stop him.
All right. I know.
He should know the law. This officer knows the law. He knows the law.
No, I'm the one teaching him. All right.
You're teaching him.
I am separating both parties because
no, I'm going to go.
Is not.
So you're teaching him.
This moment perfectly encapsulates the ego-driven mindset of the disrespectful officer. As the auditor rightly points out the difference in conduct between the two, noting that one officer clearly understands the law while the other doesn't, the officer with the attitude jumps in and says, "I'm the one teaching him." It's a defensive remark, but more than that, it's an outright deflection from his own failings. This officer has been wrong on multiple points throughout the encounter, misquoting drone weight thresholds, inventing flight restrictions, refusing to cite legislation, and mocking the auditor instead of engaging professionally. Yet when his lack of knowledge is called out, not rudely, but factually, his instinct is not to reflect or correct himself, but to assert dominance by claiming he's a teacher.
I don't really have time for
this. Are you saying you're teaching him?
I'm separating both parties.
That's awful, mate.
I've spoken to you, I've spoken to them. I've already.
Do you know what I'm going to do now you've dealt with it?
I've already said your part to them.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that loads of people come here and fly drones, because you need to educate them and say we're allowed to do it.
Well, if that amounts to harassment, then so be it.
No, not me, other people.
Yeah, it's a harassment court of conduct of 2 by anybody.
You're talking rubbish, mate.
Okay, well, if you believe.
Sorry, man. You've been more than you've been perfect. This officer has a problem, and if he's teaching you, I feel bad for you, mate. You've learned a lot from somebody else, clearly.
What I was asking you was, as a human being, we have children on site.
I've got no issue with you.
That's the only.
Of course I care about that. What did I say about that? I said I'm going to stay high, didn't I?
Yeah, I think they're just concerned about the safeguarding.
That's fine. I've got no issue with them.
When a worker expresses concern about children being on site, the auditor responds reasonably and calmly, explaining that he plans to fly at a higher altitude to ensure safety and avoid disruption. That's the kind of measured, responsible behavior the law expects from drone operators. Not just knowing the rules, but actively applying them to minimize risk. But instead of acknowledging that, the disrespectful officer seizes a moment to throw in yet another dig, suggesting the auditor doesn't care. It's a cheap shot, and one that completely ignores the facts in front of him. The auditor had just demonstrated a clear intent to fly responsibly, in line with CAA guidance, which doesn't prohibit flying near children, but expects pilots to avoid flying directly over uninvolved people and to maintain safe separation.
They've been civil, they've been polite, they've been professional. They had concerns which were, in my opinion, a little bit... their concerns were a little bit unreasonable, what they were telling me, but they're not doing it on purpose. They're just trying to do their job right. They call you guys for advice. You've turned up. I can't blame you for turning up because you don't know the situation until you get here. But to tell me I can't do it and don't do it again is wrong, because I can come here tomorrow, or my friend could, and fly a drone here, and they should really go, oh, just ignore him, you know, you can do it legally, right?
If the staff are told that flying a drone over the site is illegal, when it's not, they're likely to pass that misinformation on to others. So the next time someone comes to film lawfully, they'll face the same unnecessary confrontation. That misinformation leads to more confusion, more false reports, and ultimately, a waste of police time and public resources. This is exactly how bad policing practices and misunderstandings become normalized, not just through action, but through repetition. When an officer wrongly claims something is illegal, and no one corrects it, that claim gets treated as fact. Staff act on it. Members of the public believe it, and soon, lawful activity is treated like criminal behavior.
I'm going to go. Sorry it's happened like this, all right? You've been more than polite, no issue at all.
It shouldn't have gone this far.
No, it shouldn't. I'd gone, I was having some food. I've seen these guys come and thought I'd better pop over, but...
All right, thank you for coming back over.
I've got no issue, it's just, I feel like you dealt with it badly, but that's your choice. I'm
not dealing with it badly. Look. They've witnessed how I've dealt with it.
What's done is done.
But it's not a no-fly zone. Anyone can fly the drone here.
I've made that clear to both sides.
Oh,
all right.
You told me I can't do it.
However, like, you know what? There's no. My colleague has explained it, and I've told him.
He's been banged on, yeah.
And I'm dealing with both parties, and I've got my colleague dealing with you.
Busy day, I suppose, as well. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go. Thanks, man.
No problem.
All right.
As the interaction finally draws to a close, the auditor makes a powerful, composed exit, telling the workers clearly that his issue isn't with them, but with the way this entire situation was handled. Turning calmly to the officer who had escalated the encounter from the start, he points out directly that the officer had handled things badly, and yet, in a perfect summary of the officer's ego-driven mindset, he responds defiantly, refusing to accept even the slightest accountability, despite having been caught in multiple errors. From start to finish, this officer was a textbook example of how policing can go wrong when pride replaces professionalism. Instead of engaging respectfully in clarifying law, he began by mocking the auditor, dismissing questions, and doubling down on misinformation, even when presented with undeniable evidence on a screen. His stubbornness and dismissive attitude not only deepened confusion for staff, but directly contributed to future misunderstandings, potentially causing more wasted police time down the line. Meanwhile, the other officer stood in clear contrast. Although he started out unsure and misinformed, he approached the conversation respectfully, listened to explanations, and demonstrated genuine willingness to learn. His behavior showed exactly how policing should work in a modern society, with openness, humility, and a commitment to accuracy. That professionalism made his partner's aggressive attitude even more glaring and unjustifiable. What makes this episode especially important isn't just the misinformation or the mockery. It's that the disrespectful officer represented precisely the kind of attitude that undermines public trust. He turned a straightforward, lawful drone flight into an unnecessary confrontation, not through genuine concern for public safety, but through ego, defensiveness, and unwillingness to admit fault. In the end, the auditor didn't just expose incorrect information about drone laws. He exposed something far deeper: how critical it is that those entrusted with enforcing the law remain accountable, informed, and willing to learn. Because when pride overtakes professionalism, it's not just one interaction that harmed. It's the very foundation of public trust in policing. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage.